for the final trans update. This is going to be an interesting video because some of y'all who read my YouTube post might be wondering what's going on. So, this is going to be an interesting update. So, before I even continue with this update, I want to mention a couple of things of my health. So, if you don't know, I've been sick for some time, and even recently I had the flu. So, I had to basically well, I think it is the flu. Whatever it was, I went to the doctors, got an injection, took antibiotics. Just right now, I had a migraine, but that's not part of my sickness. That's just my normal problems. So that's kind of that was kind of a thing that happened. And then before that, I remember telling you guys, updating you guys so much on my health. First things first, obviously, I still have those lumps by my earlobes, still have that lump by my neck, and this has been carrying on since early this year. When it comes to my stomach, obviously, I haven't been paying attention to my stool movements and what. I know that's kind of embarrassing to talk about. It's not something I want to talk about, but I've had a lot of problems in the past few months now, and it's like it really is feeling that like so much is happening. I'm overwhelmed. Um, Also on my chest there was this little spot. It isn't super 3D, but it looks 3D when you look at it from a mirror. But overall, it was just I don't even know. I don't even know if this is one of my old school, um, what do you call it? Chickenpox scars because I've had so many of them. I don't know because it's strange. But when I look at it, obviously there's a bit more hair growing on that specific spot compared to the opposite side. Because, on your chest you expect it to be symmetry, but you know, um, on the opposite side of that spot, there's so little hair growing. So I don't know, maybe because one time I shaved it off, maybe it regrew, and I don't know. I don't know what's the big deal with that, but that spot, I've noticed it for some time. I don't know what it is, you know. Um, Anyways, anything else I need to say? My gums, I don't know what else to say about my gums. I mean, I've always had problems. I've had a lump on my gum a couple months ago, but that's been, I guess, sorted out, kind of sorted out. I guess I don't even know what was the final verdict on that. Anyway, let me just zoom in just a bit. You know what this reminds me of? The time years ago when I would make videos and I would use paper and just kind of draw stuff. I still do it on my main channel just a bit. But I remember years ago, especially early 2021, when I ordered something and I was like so stressed out, I had to draw what was going on because I could not just make a simple video talking. I had to like draw stuff, draw diagrams. All right, then. So something happened. Something happened to me on Saturday that I just decided to just go out and explain stuff. So something happened on Saturday, something I saw that kind of changed my mind a bit and certain stuff. But let me be honest with you before y'all assume a lot of stuff. Some of y'all know me from such a long time. Some of y'all are new to the channel, but obviously over time this channel kind of stayed similar to 1,000 subscribers. Nothing really reaching past 1.5 or 1.4 something. Like I'm stuck around that number, but overall, many of y'all were here on this journey, and some of y'all know from the get-go that I never started transitioning. I never started transitioning, and that is disappointing. That is very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. Obviously, I kept telling myself you'll do it. I only told one person about the trans stuff, my mother. And when I told my mother this, she never really understood. So I was kind of stuck trying to explain stuff to her. And then she said something about my health. If you guys don't know, I have something which is a conceived problem in my body. So it has nothing to do with what I've been talking about earlier in the beginning of the video, but something totally different. And that obviously changed my life in a very strange way. So when she told me that I can't do that because of my health, I was very disappointed. I was sad. I was even praying at one night, praying that there'll be a way for me to take the hormones and just take it, you know. That was 2019. Good old 2019. What was awesome about 2019? Movies. There was some terrible movies, but everyone was talking about the movies. I remember Shazam, Joker. Joker was a good one, but then you had some bad ones like Captain Marvel and whatever, and everyone was talking about it. I miss 2019. Am I the only one who misses 2019? I remember those days, and those days I was just so sad because I wanted there to be a way to transition. I really wanted to find a way to transition. And I understand, yeah, you gotta save up for hormones, the medicine, all the other types of medicine, and surgery. I wasn't planning on having too much surgery because of my health. I kept thinking to myself, I'll take the hormones, but I won't have surgery. I kept telling myself that because that felt like a normal thing to do. You can't have too much surgery, but at least I can take the hormones. But the more I kept thinking, the more I realized that, well, around this year, I realized this that I might not even have the chance to transition. I don't know if I realized this even the year before or even last year, but this year I had this realization, and this was months ago. But I kept thinking to myself, there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way where I can at least transition. There's got to be a way, especially with my health problem. There's got to be a way, and I guess I kept trying to chase that dream which can never manifest. There's one type of dream that can be manifested, but there's some dreams that cannot be manifested, and I'm disappointed in that, you know. And what I saw that day on Saturday kind of made me realize that it is enough of what I'm doing. It's very enough on what I'm doing. It's so crazy what like it's so crazy what other people are doing, and I just felt like I can't do this anymore. I'm sure some others may have felt this way, especially some detransitioners, but the thing is that I never really took hormones, nor did I ever desist on anything like that. you know the thing about my life that makes me so different compared to others is that I wanted to transition when it wasn't politics at all. I wanted to transition when I was just a young teen. Even before that, I felt strange, and then when I realized that, you know what, you can transition. This was long ago, by the way, 2014, and I was like, wait a minute, I've been feeling weird this entire time, and maybe there's a way for me to change my body. I thought about that years ago, and then as the years progressed, I kept fighting. I kept fighting back. I kept I kept fighting back because it felt like one of those things you gotta fight. You should not accept. And then 2018 came. 2018 was a very strange year in my life. I don't think you can see it, but it was one of those years where I never really enjoyed 2018 for the most of it. There were some good moments, there were some bad moments, some evil moments, but there were also some wonderful moments. And 2018, I started realizing that, you know what, I finally dropped out of school. I can finally take hormones. I can finally be myself, or at least I can finally start transitioning some way. And I kind of accepted that back in 2018. I accepted that. And instead of fighting the concept of that, fought I fought so hard before, and I realized that I shouldn't fight. I should just accept it. So yeah, so a lot of people these days, I don't know about everyone. Everyone's case is different. A lot of people these days transition because of trends these days. I can guarantee you that a lot of the transitioners today wouldn't have transitioned, especially female to male, because I seen a a huge influx of them all over, and it doesn't seem like most of them would want to transition at all. If this was a different time, I guarantee you most of them would have never transitioned. 99% of them would have never transitioned. So yeah. Anyways, I was just wanting to transition years ago. This wasn't a trend. This was not a trend. This wasn't some kind of political thing because, when I was kind of like accepting myself as trans, I was getting more right wing. So obviously this wasn't like politics compared to other people, because I know some people have different cases. Some people might say maybe it's the politics. It's not the politics, okay? Oh my goodness gracious me. 2019, I was watching Matt Walsh and Michael Knowles and Ben Shapiro, Andrew Clavin, and I was still accepting myself as trans. This was years ago. Years ago. Okay? This was years ago, and I was still, like thinking of the trans concept. So politics did not change my mind. Just to be clear, politics did not change my mind compared to a lot of people, because I know there's a lot of trends going on. I did not fall in those trends. There were no trends whatsoever. There were no trends. It was just me being authentic, me being actual to myself. And obviously, 2020 came. Not much happened in 2020. That year was so strange. 2021 flew by. 2022 came, and I started making more trans content. And I think that really inspired me more, because if you watch some of my content, you know what I'm talking about. Very inspirational content. What's also interesting is that last year I found something. I found something that kind of made me feel weird. And this was something I would say one of those moments where I felt like it's too much, overwhelming. So, what am I talking about? Well, when I was doing my research last year, when I was doing my research last year, I was downloading videos from TikTok, editing them, and I came across this one account. This one account, which I was surprised because, normally when you search stuff, you don't really get everything else with it. You get only a few stuff. But, anyways, I found something a bit interesting. There was this one account. I don't really know this person's official name. I'm not going to say this person's username, but I will count this person as an alias. So let's call this person A. Let's call this person A or person 1, whatever you want to call it. Let's just say person A. So this person, I saw some of their TikToks, and this person was calling themselves a man. Like this was a very feminine person calling themselves a trans man. And I was like, is this person on hormones? What is this? What is the story? And I scrolled, you always scroll to the old videos to see, try to find something. I scrolled to the old videos. This person was once identifying as pansexual. And then the next moment, this person was something else, I guess. And then all of a sudden, this person decided to be trans man. I don't think this person took hormones at all. At all. I don't think there was any hormones in this person. So obviously, I feel like this was some kind of something. I don't know. Maybe the person was just identifying, but that was something very strange to see because I was like a bit worried about that. When you see people like that who just randomly identify as someone, and then sometimes they take it a bit too seriously, and then they take hormones, because you need to understand hormones is not for everyone. I'm someone who, is accepting of a lot of things, but I will not allow people to follow trends, because these days there's a lot of people following trends rather than just feeling true to themselves. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because as I said earlier in this video, I have been true to myself, but obviously, because from a long time, I've always felt this way, feeling weird, feeling strange. Even before 2014, I've always felt strange, like Like something is wrong with me. I always felt that way. Always felt that way. So this was something built up for years. This wasn't some kind of thing where I just thought one moment I'm trans. No, this was something that built up from a long time. This was like character building, really long time. So I saw this person, and what this person was basically calling themselves trans man. I was a bit worried because this person just randomly identified as that, and this really shook me for some time and some moments. But I continued, just doing my thing. I did check up on the person time to time, and and I saw that the person continued making content. But recently I saw something that kind of blew me away. This person stopped identifying as a trans man. The person just now has like LGBTQ on their videos now, but it used to be like trans man, hashtag trans man, female to male, stuff like that. But this person stopped identifying as a trans man. So I don't know what the person identifies now, but this person doesn't really act masculine anymore, doesn't wear a lot of masculine clothes anymore. This person, I don't know if this person even calls herself a he anymore. I don't know. I don't think so now. But the thing is that I feel like possibly this was a trend this person followed. And this kind of made me think that's strange. That is very, very strange. But I'm not the only one who are seeing these types of trends. I can guarantee you a lot of people these days are seeing these types of trends. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. So, yeah, and then obviously I continued making videos. And then and then Saturday came, and Saturday was a very influential day. I saw something that kind of made me realize that this trend is not just a light trend. You have certain trends like fidget spinners, you have trends like slime. Those trends are harmless. They don't harm anyone whatsoever. But now you have these type of trends where some people can take that route to take hormones, to do all of these surgeries, and then they just end up so different. And some people will say, well, you're just being rude. I'm sorry, but not everyone is supposed to transition. I'll stand by that. Not everyone is supposed to transition. These days, you have people all of a sudden identifying as something else and then they take hormones. So I saw this person on Saturday. I'm not going to give this person's username. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to call this person Person B. So let's just call this person Person B. Now, I found out about this person on, you could say, a naughty website. Yes, I know I did not help myself with that. I should have stopped my disgusting behavior years ago, but unfortunately I guess it got the better of me. But if I did not stop it, then I guess I wouldn't have found out about this person. So I found out about this person calls herself a boy, and this person also likes to pretend to be a femboy. I don't think you know what femboys are. So, femboys. Sorry about my writing. It's terrible. I know it's terrible. Femboys. This person calls herself a femboy, and she thinks she is a femboy. She has not started hormones. She has not started hormones whatsoever. So I tried finding out more about this person. Found a YouTube page, and you could see the before and after. Like a couple of months ago, she was just normal, and then all of a sudden, she makes this video where she says she woke up one day and felt she was a boy. I kid you not, that actually happened. I don't think she's on hormones yet. I do not think so. But I do think she might start with hormones. Some of y'all may think, well, maybe she might go the route of person A, basically just kind of move on from her identity and just be herself. Don't identify as trans. No, I kind of doubt that because, as I said, everyone's case is different. Everyone will always start differently or end up in a different path. So I don't think person B is going to end up like person A, basically just becoming normal again. I think this person might just somehow take hormones. Right now, this person kind of keeps a body. She just calls herself a boy, doesn't wear feminine stuff anymore. You can see the big changes from her old videos and her new videos. I'm not talking about the NSFW videos. I'm talking about YouTube videos and TikTok videos. And you can see a big change in the content. Like this person was a very feminine person, very feminine. I'm not joking. I mean, very feminine, highly feminine. And then all of a sudden, this person wakes up and she's called herself a boy. And I think this thing had kind of scarred me the most because the thing is that I've seen a lot of this type of stuff, and this kind of like hit the nail. It this was like the hammer that hit the nail on the coffin because I can't take it. I can't take when a lot of people keep trying to make this a trend. I can't stand that, you know? And you see this person just identifying as a boy one day, woke up, just said, I felt like a boy and now is a boy. I'm sorry, but for me, it was much more than that. I felt weird, very weird in my body. I was very, very confused. And this was a long ago. This was ages ago. Okay, this wasn't just one thought. This was something that built up. And then 2014, when I found out about you could change your gender, I was like, wow, you could do that. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe that was wrong with me. Maybe that was what's wrong with my body, you know. And this was like a big thing for me. And then I kept fighting back this thought. It kept coming back. This wasn't this just like a one day I woke up and I felt this way. This was like I had this feeling for such a long time. Okay, this was a feeling that built up for ages. But when you see people just randomly identify as something, it scares you. It really, really scares you. I know I mentioned this a lot, but there was also another person. I think it was this year. Even Brett Cooper made a video about this person, but I think she deleted the video. We're gonna call this person 2 because I guess that's an interesting name. So this person is a very interesting person because college girl, nothing major about her. One day she comes out, I don't even know, it comes out as something. And then a couple months later, she comes out as trans. And then within 9 months, a chest is taken off. And obviously, I was like, something ain't right with this because how come so many people are just transitioning? So what I do is I then do some research. I do some research and I find out that this person has a Twitter. Check the Twitter out, and I scrolled back to when she was just a regular girl. I could find no stance on politics, no trans stuff, no supporting trans whatsoever. Like in 2020 time, I could find none of that, none of that. So I was thinking to myself, how come a very skinny girl, maybe slightly boyish, all of a sudden decides to become trans? Now, I do believe there's a lot of social problems happening. You could say that, since she's in college, there's a lot of influence. I don't know how to spell influence. I'm sorry. I know I'm writing, but I still suck at spelling words. So what happened was, I would say that my assumption is college, because college right now is a breeding ground for it. But not just college. I can also say social media as well. Social media can also be to blame because now you have everyone doing it. Everyone saying you have to be trans because if you do this, then you're trans. If you feel a certain way, then you're trans. It's not true. It is not true. You don't just wake up one day and like it's more build up to that. Because here's the thing I want to mention. Even the trans videos I made on this channel, you would read their before and after videos. You would see it, and you would see that they also fought against this thought. Like many of them fought against you know this concept of trans. Like they didn't feel like they wanted to be, but I guess they accepted it years later. You know, so I'm still trying to find out why so many people, especially females, are just randomly transitioning. And because here's the thing, here's the difference between males and females. when it came to male transitioners, they've always been a thing for such a long time, and it's like so common. It's so common. And then you have female transitioners, and it's like most of them weren't common. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, right? Like it's supposed to be quite rare, and then all of a sudden there's an influx. What's going on? What is going on? Why are so many people just randomly transitioning or calling themselves a boy or whatever? And so as I was saying about person B, that kind of just changed my mind altogether, because this person doesn't have any like any type of history of gender dysphoria. No history of gender dysphoria, no history of feeling the other way around, no history of that. Not a peep of history. Person was very, very feminine, but all of a sudden she just decides to call herself a boy. I don't know if she'll start hormones. I don't know if she'll just change her mind and just become someone like normal. But what I'm trying to say is that sometimes you could just, start off by saying, I identify as this, I might not take hormones, and then months later you'll start taking hormones and stuff happens and stuff like that. And I really worry. Like some of y'all don't know this, but I've been worrying about stuff like this for years. The one thing that really spooked me out was a lot of people just randomly transitioning. Some of y'all might not know this. I did not tell most of the world this. I told my mother this yesterday, so let me explain. Let me just change the background. Clean slate. So this was around 2018. When I was a bit younger, I would go on dating sites, and these dating sites were basically for teens only. So around your own age, you can meet people. So I started when I was 14 looking for people. Couldn't find anyone. And then 2018 happened, and 2018 was this big game changer. I found someone so beautiful, someone so wonderful. And as soon as I saw this person, my heart was just skipping a beat. I wanted this person. You know what I mean when you fall in love? You just want this person. Daydreams. I always daydreamt about this person. And then the more I found out about this person on a personal life, because, I found this person on a dating site, and, even though it was a dating site, you don't have to date, you can just hang out. But overall, um, I kind of tracked this person on other social medias, trying to find this person. And the more I found out about this person, the more I felt like I should at least step back from this person. And then I found out this person wanted to be trans. And I was like, what? What? And I think now this person is trans. The person did take hormones. She did, I'm sure she did have breast removal surgery. I'm sure. And this was like early 2018. So yeah, that was kind of terrifying to see that. But then I just moved on. But what I saw on Saturday was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. It was too much for me. It was too much for me. Honestly, the more I see, the more I see this type of stuff happening, the more I wonder why it's happening so much. I guarantee you, like, even 2016, it wasn't this bad. It wasn't this bad in 2016. Okay, so what is really happening? Obviously, a lot of influence of social media, a lot of, you know, I would say it's mostly just influence. If you could just kind of like, you know, move that aside, you won't have that many trans men or people just identifying as trans one day, and the next day they identify as something else. You won't have that. You will just have normal people. So what I'm trying to say is that okay, now let's move on from this. Because obviously, obviously on Saturday I was thinking a lot, and then I realized this: I need to move on with my life, because with my health problem, I won't be able to transition. I realized this months ago, but I kept trying to find some way, maybe hope there's a way I can do it. Unfortunately, nothing happened. Nothing happened, and I realized that, you know what? I won't be able to make this dream come true. This is one of those dreams that can never come true. So it's not happening. I'm sorry, it's not happening. Some of y'all were watching me for such a long time. Some of y'all were watching me when I was just a teenager making videos, and some of y'all maybe were hoping that I would just one day take the hormones. Some of y'all may have just been rooting for me. I'm sorry if I let y'all down because I just can't. My health is a bit more important. You know, I understand that if I guarantee you, I'll guarantee you, if I had no problem, no conceived problem, I would do it. I would definitely do it. I would have done it like 2021 or 2022, or at least when I had enough money, I would have started. So just remember that I would have at least done a lot more. I would have at least done so much more if I did not have my problem. I guarantee you that. I mean it. I'm 100% honest. I guarantee you that. So, once again, this was something built up since a child. I've had this issue. And then around 2014, I found out what you could do. And then I was like, you know what? I should do it. And then time to time, I would fight against myself, hoping that maybe I might come out of it. Maybe this might just be a phase, but it was not a phase. I don't think it was a phase. It was not a phase for me. It may have been a phase for many people, like today, how many people just one day identify as one thing and another thing. But for me, it was not a phase. It was real and it is real. Obviously, I still have issues with my gender, and it sucks. It really sucks that I can't do it. It really sucks. It really sucks. You know how much I dreamed? You know how much I dreamed of just being one of those hot girls, just being someone hot, being someone just, like possibly a very traditional woman. You know how much I dreamt of that. You know, I had a lot of dreams. I had so much dreams. I've been dreaming for years, especially on this issue. And unfortunately, I just have to give up because of my health. It really sucks. But as I said before, if I did not have an health issue, 100%, 100%, 100% I would do it. And that would have been amazing. You all know that. You all know that I would have done it when if I was just normal. If I was just normal. And obviously, I don't think I'll, if even if I, let's just say, ask a doctor, can I take hormones? I know the answer will be no. Due to my health, I won't be able to do it. I won't be able to. I won't be able to. I told my mother last night, and I told her this, and it was kind of hard to tell her this because I was the one who told her this. I wanted to transition years ago. I told her that. She was the only one in my family who knew, who really knew. She knew this. Okay? I told her first and only her. I told her this years ago. And we would always have these arguments. And if you watch my channel, you know what I'm talking about. Because I made videos talking about my discussions with my mother. So please understand that she's the only one who knew, and I had to tell her how I was feeling, and I have to just accept the fact I would never transition. It really sucks. It really, really sucks. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. Some of y'all may be disappointed in me for not transitioning, but health is something pretty important. And even when I went to the dentist, I had to take antibiotics. I had to take antibiotics before I go to the dentist. This was not normal for most people. Like most of the world don't need to do that. Also, I have a very rare problem. So rare. It's so rare. And that's the thing. It's so rare. Not everyone has this problem. Only like a few people have it, and I have it. I've been conceived with it, and I have to live with it. Obviously, I can, I always thought maybe I could try taking a couple of hormones, maybe low dosage, maybe a very low dosage, like extremely low. I thought I won't do too much surgeries. I always thought, and then I realized that, recently it just won't happen, even with low dosages. And I kept thinking, what do I do if it doesn't happen? What's my backup plan? Is there any plan whatsoever? Do I have a backup plan? And the truth is, what I thought even a couple months ago, if I don't manage to transition at all, at least I can just be. I don't know if I spelled it correctly. I can be feminine. I can still be feminine. I can still be very feminine. I don't have to transition to be feminine. You know what I'm saying? I can still be feminine, you know? You know that, right? I can still be that. So it's not really the end of the world for me. It feels like it. It really does. It really does feel like it. But I can still be feminine, you know? I can still do things like that. I can still be feminine even though I'm not taking hormones. So thank you all so much for watching this video. I just want to say that it's been an interesting experience, making this video. And obviously, I really wish things were different, you know? But hey, this is how it is, I guess. And, anyways, yeah, to round it all up, a lot of things really made me just realize that this isn't for me. Obviously, I am very different compared to the trenders. I'm very different to people who trend. I'm being honest. My life is more different than people who trend with this issue. I didn't just wake up one day and thought I need to transition. It was a long process. And then I realized you can do it because I was always confused with myself, always confused. So, yeah, this isn't some kind of thing where I just woke up one day and realized, oh, I'm different. No, it's much more different than that. It's been a build up and it's been a fight. It's been a fight because, as I mentioned earlier, I've been fighting it as well when like I was a bit younger, 2016, 17. I was fighting this mood. I was fighting it. I did not want to accept it. I did not wanted to accept any of this because I thought maybe if I fight it, maybe it'll go away. Maybe this isn't for me. And 2018 came and I accepted it. I accepted it. 2018. I decided to accept it. So obviously, obviously the dream is over. Have a wonderful day. I'm sorry if this video was so long. Oh my goodness, 38 minutes. 38 minutes. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Bye.